Let's begin. How long have we been disconnected? If this is even part of the video, Miss Unicorns, I have only 3 moments with you being inconsiderate towards me. So I have to ask you, how many other moments are there? Because it's not just the times we play D&D. It's every week for the past year. And it's also been weekly games of Minecraft and some rage games sometimes, which rage games we knew got to be less making issues about things. And I do my best. I really do. But in the end of the day, you're the one who's saying I burned bridges, and you're the one who treated me like shit. I didn't burn anything. You're the one who abused me. And other people agree you abused me. They might not be workers, but they're rational adults. And I'm sorry you're not getting the right feedback. I'm sorry that you're not being helped so you don't end up hurting people again. I'm sorry that getting feedback makes you abuse people. And if you were to tell that to your therapist, I think that they would be like, well, no, when you get feedback, you need to just maybe consider it because some people aren't just stupid. Some people aren't just trying to hurt you or whatever. If he said he didn't accuse you of something and you keep on going, you need to apologize for that before he will ever let you be around him again. That's what your worker or your therapist should tell you. Or your husband or Becky, freaking king, anyone from D&D literally. Any one of your friends who knows about the situation, anyone who cares about you should tell you. You seriously hurt this guy and he's done like very few things wrong out of the like dozens of times. I only have 3 incidences on file. I'm not saying that it's important to rehash things. I'm just saying admit that you know that you hurt me back then. Admit that when I mention, first of all, never wanted you to get hurt at all. The other person saying that, that's bullshit. That should be comforting. You should be understanding, no, I never had that kind of thoughts about anything like that. I'm not backpedaling. I'm not making excuses. I'm not misremembering. I said you need consequences for treating me bad. I said he could go to your place, he could talk to you, talk sense into you, not let you just do this or just like, maybe stop being your friend because he deserves people who are going to be decent. in his life. King deserves someone who's not gonna just let him say bullshit that's like anything said in anger. You're not supposed to just spread that everywhere. Let the person calm down first. We've all said things out of turn. I'm not going to hold that against you. I'm just saying we can make a good future. I flat out know you hurt me. And I'm still here thinking about how at all I should even let you in my life again. And I'm like, yeah, sure, possibly. I just, even if there's a chance that I would get hurt again, if I didn't listen to Lacey, I wouldn't have freaking turned down your offer. I stood my ground. I said, listen to my concerns, or I don't want to be a part of your D&D thing because I won't be allowing myself to go into that kind of trap. If you're going to not see my concerns, then the next thing that happens, you're going to be in person in a place where I'm not safe. And do you think I'm going to just let myself be in that situation? I don't think so. You have to convince me you're not going to hurt me. I don't need to convince you of that because I already explained. I didn't in the first place. Like, you probably think that I said, don't talk. I said, don't talk to me that way. I said, be respectful. I can't get over it. That just freaking Damon and his stupid parents say, not talking to me about the situation, not confirming what happened, just believing him. I didn't tell him to hurt. The thing is, I don't like letting my friends be rotten and stay rotten. So, of course, in order to get through to you, the only thing that I can do is probably talk to your husband, talk to someone who knows you, or whatever else, get them to tell you you are being a jerk. Can you please knock it off? He doesn't deserve this. And I can't get anyone to do that. And if they would do that and they would confirm to you, yeah, no, you freaking were a jerk. Not only did you treat me like crap, you treated me like crap near Christmas. I felt horrible. The day you invited me to a D&D thing a couple weeks ago that you were running is like a bitch slap olive branch. You're not going to listen to my concerns. You're not going to take responsibility for what you did and how you hurt me. How I literally said, I don't think you should be in the D&D group because I don't want any of them being abused by you. There are two ways that works. One, you get removed. Two, you get your act together. Treat people with respect and decency. That's what I want. Just be decent. Literally, I was told, "Maybe call the cops." It's like, "No, I'm not fucking calling the cops." It's just a stupid, like, opinion. It's not even a rumor. Fucking some idiot hearsay. Some idiot abusing and being a bully, not listening to reason. Cops can't do shit about that, and also they would probably make it worse. Because if you are able to think that people could be violent or think violent things about you, then you need to not be allowed around any one of them. And then it leads to, well, we can't do things together anymore, and the D&D thing is all ruined because you won't fucking admit what you did. So I haven't called the police about you. Not only that, they and if that doesn't end up happening, concerns not being checked before the game is like I've explained it before. It's like saying you know the brakes are broken, you know how to fix it, and you're just gonna wait till the car crashes. I'd rather get out of the damn car and walk. Thanks. And you know sure as hell I'm not going in your freaking car if its brakes are broken. Metaphorically. Don't trust it. Been burned too many times. I don't care if it's one or two multiple, I've been burned too many times by people having the wrong idea. April Fools. Not okay. Not gotten any better. The people who literally said if something happens in the place we do D&D and then they don't do anything about it, well, it's this thing between you 2. And I'm like, "No, it's really not. It's not just a thing between the 2 of us, it's a thing between everyone who's aware. Him for perpetuating the falsehood and not dealing with it when I try to explain things, like, you can't just go off and say shit like that. You can get charged for that, king. Don't wanna do it. Don't think it would freaking be taken by anyone. There's no, like, correct way to handle this. The only thing that anyone's ever said that is anywhere near smart is to just be an example from now on. It reminds me of on Facebook where some people were treating me bad, and all I had to do was not rile them up, and eventually they realize I'm not shit, and they started treating me good, and they add me to places, and I can be friendly with them, and they don't treat me like shit. They don't backhand me because they don't think that I'm making them feel stupid or making them feel embarrassed or whatever, because that's how their psychotic brains work. Doesn't matter. Them causing so much damage and me being the one saying, "Yeah, well, I can kick you out of the group." That's my authority. I can stop you from ever being part of the live streams. I've seen other people where it's like they flat out will take the screenshots of all the conversations. It'd be like, you are literally looking like an ass right now. You gotta admit it. It's not just hearsay, it's your own words. I haven't gone that far. You had me delete the Phasmophobia VOD because you didn't want to be embarrassed about what the frick bullshit happened. Because you don't want to take responsibility for it. I don't give a shit who sees, who knows. That's the difference. I can own up to all of it. I can do my best to try better next time. I don't need to be treated like trash. I've been told, oh, don't give energy to people who don't deserve it by the DM, meaning don't invest any good in you if it's not going to bring back a harvest of good because you're bad soil. Basically, he called you bad soil. He didn't use those words, I did. But ones who don't deserve your positivity, don't give it to them. Give them your energy. I'm sorry. But again, I have this thing stuck in my soul. I don't like seeing someone rot. I don't know how to guide you in a way of goodness so you stop being an abusive jerk. I don't know how to have anyone give you a slice of humble pie so you don't end up abusing people again. You don't end up just walking away from your responsibilities. Try to sweep it under the rug. All you had to do was say sorry. We could have moved forward, but you just didn't do that. The one who burned the bridge was you. The one who's still saying you're worth protecting is me. The one who gave up on you are workers and the DM. Think about that. Told me to give up on you. What the hell does he know? And yeah, I don't care if you're listening. It's bad advice to give up on people. I'm twice your age, dude. I understand some people maybe give up on them or maybe give them time or give them the correct investment of effort, which means be an example, not give up. So I refuse to give up, but I refuse to be abused. Unlike with other people who, when I just let them to rot, they ended up with like all sorts of stupid, horrible lives. I don't want to get into that. I mean, one got arrested, completely out of my control. Nothing to do with me. Another one got used. I didn't wish that on them. All sorts of people that I've been told, yeah, just give up on them. They rot. So the thing that I'm aware of is that it takes a village. You're not supposed to make your choices yourself. You're supposed to have other people helping you. And I've had a bunch of people helping me, and guess what? Half of them told me give up. Other ones didn't tell me any advice. They just wanted me to not feel like I'm trash. One told me I don't deserve to be treated bad, who actually is aware of the situation. The only one I've found so far. Just a genuine person. I hope you get wisdom eventually, and that's all that matters. I don't care what else you think I thought about or said to other people. Just get wisdom. Understand forgiveness. Understand your role in life is not to push people around. And you can't just ignore your responsibilities or it's going to catch up with you eventually. I hope it never does. I hope you learn before it does. I'm going to go hug my friends. It's funny. The ones who never even hang out with me, I don't feel the loss of them because I don't feel them pushing me away, but I hear their silence. It's not very comforting, but not everyone is a professional capable of actually helping these situations. It's the ones who are adults, workers, those ones should have known better, and they didn't. So then it's a whole culture that's idiotic, and that's sad because it makes you a victim of a bunch of stupid people. A bunch of people who aren't professionals. That's a better way to put it. People have this stupid idea that we can't force people to do the right thing. What do you call laws? Laws are threats of possible violence and consequences for your own actions. Traffic laws are there to keep people safe. And when you break those, you know you're endangering people. And it's something that we just are smart enough to be like, yeah, well, if everyone is obeying the traffic laws, we can be safe. We don't do it because we feel it's imposed on us. We do it because we know it helps everyone be safe. And we are grateful that everyone else is doing as best they can sometimes instead of, you know, being reckless. The majority of the time, they're not. A general consideration for another person who doesn't even belong to your friends group. Just anyone out there. You follow the traffic laws. Why don't we have other basic conduct laws or guidelines that are correct and help people to not end up becoming abusive through misunderstandings? Why don't we have it so that if you see someone making a mistake, get involved if they matter to you, if you have any ability to speak up, if you ever hear that they did something wrong, and if the concern is credible, even if the emotions are there, that's enough. People's emotions are valid, much less if the truth happens. I can apologize for all of this to be very stressful. And I know it was stressful, but holy shit, I got yelled at. And you're the one who has the issue with people yelling at people, and it's your own husband who did the yelling. So he's the one most aware that yelling is not supposed to happen. He violated your code of conduct. It feels like you're in a bad situation. So if your husband's a bulldog, what other kind of danger is he capable of having if he's just let to just react without thinking, without looking into it, being sure of things, just for the sake of what? Your ego? Or the genuine zero consideration or thought put into it, and then just attack if anyone says anything Basic criticism? I'm sorry, you need to grow up, dude. Be better for her, okay? I genuinely want you to be better for her. I don't give a shit. That is the only time, and that is the one and only time I will ever be around that person and be like, "Oh, you're capable of lashing out." Even going so far as to go beyond her code of conduct. If she can't trust you, why the hell should I? Should I? And that's like another like genuine concern that I have that you think it's okay to just bring him over to the place where we do D&D. I'm like, if you can prove that everything's been going smoothly here by him being there, good. Then he's a witness to things going well, and that's perfectly fine. That's great. That's a lot of extra positivity that he needs to have a good perspective and to keep you on your toes, to be aware that things have been going good again. I only mentioned things after you said you might consider me going into your group. And I'm like, I'm not going in without you checking my concerns. I think that's valid. I don't think that's overbearing. I don't think that's me pushing anything. That's not me looking into the past. That's me being like, I'm safeguarding the future for myself, and I'm not feeling safe. That is my stance. That's how it is, and it doesn't matter about the details about things. That's my emotional situation. If you don't care about people's emotional situations, you don't deserve to be people's friends. That's basically how it is. Get better. Also, dude, when someone says I'll pray for you, it means genuine concern. I don't care if you call that an insult. It means that you know that there's something wrong and you're praying that it gets better. I genuinely don't care if you or anyone else considers that to be an insult. The fact that she freaked out when I said that means she's not trying to see it as me wanting good. If I wanted bad, I would have said I would curse you. No, I pray for you. I pray for wisdom, pray for safety. I pray for good logic so you don't end up falling over your own feet and all the other shit. I pray for genuine decency and the best life that you can have. This is not sarcasm. I'm hoping you have a good life and nothing ever ends up hurting you. God said he would curse those who curse you. If you've cursed me, put that up with God because that's a stupid thing to do if you have any belief whatsoever. Personally, I don't. But if there's anything to that, don't curse people. It's stupid. But of course, there's also the other phrase, I'm blessed beyond the curse, for his promise will endure. His joy is going to be my strength. I don't believe in him. Being blessed beyond a curse is one thing. Cursing those who curse you feels like It shouldn't be how God treats people. Because how are they? There's just going to be a lot of hurt people out there. And that's why it's part of that kind of mentality and the way that you understand. It doesn't matter if I believe in him. It matters if I believe in words. Let me explain. Words matter. The only thing the Bible ever said correctly was that words have power. It's why superstition is so powerful. If you believe something, it is more likely to be possible. The more people who believe in it, the more people who say it, the more it's likely to be possible. So when I say, I want good for you, that's the energy I'm putting out into the world so that you have a good life. Because, for one thing, if you're not stressed out about life, maybe you're able to think clearly. Maybe you're able to be like, maybe I didn't do the right thing by that guy. Maybe I treated him like trash, like he said I did. Or maybe it doesn't matter. And as long as if I did hurt him, if I just apologize and he is going to be true to his word that he would just forgive it and we move on, which is what I said I would do, but you just didn't do your part. That's how that works. Sorry. You do your part, everything else is fine. Mellow. No, I don't believe in him. It genuinely doesn't matter if I believe in him. I also don't believe in karma. The idea that, oh, you do something good, you do something bad, or whatever else, then bad is going to happen. Or you do something good, good will happen. You know why? Because a lot of people do mistakes. It's part of growing up. Karma is like trying to punish a child for being stupid. A child is born stupid until they stop being a child or when they start learning what the hell else. They don't need to be pushed down for what they don't know yet. You don't need to be a rocket science or a brain surgeon or a lawyer or amazing with taxes or great with people when you're young. You don't need to know how to run. You don't need to do the entire groceries on your back. You don't need to do all of these other things that children are just incapable of doing yet. They haven't learned that skill. They haven't grown into that capacity. So punishing them for a weakness that they have is stupid. And if you can find other weaknesses in adults, then punishing adults for a weakness they have is not helpful. I don't see how that's going to help anyone grow and become smarter. And the thing is, it might take pounding the lesson into someone multiple times, as I've seen with the other person in the third scenario. That chick. And I even defended her. Be like, "No, you can't have these expectations about her. Her brain just is not ready. That's why she has 2 workers around the clock so that she has someone who can help with things because, like, emotionally and whatever else, it's and logically, it's not something that she can just do. So you can't have those expectations. It's not just get with it. It's slowly and with patience and a delicate hand, you can help them learn, but it's going to take ages for that to think to truly sink into their brains if it ever does. The thing is, you don't have that kind of support. And I wish you did. And I wish you listened. And I know that you've maybe listened to some of the advice, but at the same time, some of them gave the advice to abandon you. And if they told you to abandon me, they're abusing you. Because if someone wants good in your life, why should you abandon them? That's stupid. Over what? Three incidences in 100 different times being around each other and everything else being fine. Even in Phasmophobia, we worked together. We did the things. We communicated. We learned how to get better and talk about, oh, hey, are we going to, do we have it right in the list? We're going to make sure before we leave. It's thoughtfulness. You learned. It took a minute, but you did learn. And I appreciate that in you. But somehow there are just other lessons that you needed to learn. I'm willing to be patient about it, but still recognize that. Don't just run away from it. Don't just be like, "Oh, I'm offended that you said I'm not smart or said I'm whatever or insensitive or you said I abused you when I don't feel well, I don't like feeling like I abused anyone." That's your thought process, but the problem is there's nothing wrong with admitting what you did in the past and growing from it. Clearly, obviously, if you didn't actually abuse someone, someone accusing you of that, yeah, that's really offensive. That's really horrific. And it's just like you accusing me of saying that I think you're lying about the thing. And it's like, I didn't say you were lying about anything about the difficulty of the game. I didn't say that. So that false accusation, yeah, I take offense to that. So you should understand that. That's a no. You can't, that's a line you don't cross. So when I explain it, then it's like, and it doesn't matter even what you heard. It matters about my full intentions after and when things are fully understood and explained. I have freaking goldfish brain sometimes. You don't just take whatever I say in any given moment. You take what I say when I say it consistently, and I say, I want good for you. And I'm proud of the fact that you became better. We all became better. And it's me having to bring up these concerns. You both got better out of King also, but only slightly. You just need better communication. You just need better thoughtfulness. You just need better, like, you got to get rid of the idea of treating people like trash is okay. And you have to recognize when when pushing people away is treating them like trash. And at some point that needs to be not tolerable. At some point you got to be like, "You know what? No, we've had so much good. I don't want to lose you. I actually value you." We haven't done nothing. It's not like we've only played games like 6 times. We've played games bunch of times. I've got a bunch of live streams of us collaborating and it going well and progress. I don't give a shit if people bring up the past, if it or shame of the past or whatever else of the past. I failed sometimes. I got better. I learned about how to use thermometers and phasmophobia. I learned about how to use other things and dots. And you know how many times in the back of my eye I saw the dots flash? It happens in a split second. It's not fast enough for this thing to set off, but I saw it. I was physically there. And you didn't listen. You didn't give a shit. You have an eyewitness to dots, and you're like, nope, not dots. I'm sorry. Do I exist to you? It clearly happened. It not only happened once, it happened multiple times, and I was like, "It's happening right here in this small area." You don't have the dots set up so you can actually see a full path of where those guys are gonna go. You have it in a small area in the back of the diner, and it's like, "I know exactly where these dots are. Why aren't you listening to me? It can't not be dots." It's like the you not taking my words seriously and you not thinking about me being rational and actually using my head or being smart enough. I think that's the thing. You don't think I'm smart enough to even notice the correct thing. No, I knew how dots work. You see the outline of the character as they're walking through it. That's dots. I didn't even know for the longest time how it works. I knew then. By the time we got to diner, I flat out completely knew how dots worked. And yeah, sometimes I freeze stuff and it set off the motion sensor. I'm sorry. I might get, of course, I get bored when I don't have anything else to do. You also tell me that that's what I do. You guys walked away from the game last time and other times. You're just not, for the longest time, you're just not even there. We're doing an entire session with you not being there. You're in the building. You're just not being there. I don't understand. There was no reason for that. Both of you, different times. One time it was him just going away doing nothing. I know that one time I rested on the couch because my back was freaking in pain. The fact that I was there in the first place was like, that's asking a lot, and I did it. Took a tiny nap during the session. I feel embarrassed about it, but I had to do something in order to not feel pain. I didn't have pain meds. I didn't know even having pain meds, unfortunately, I was on pain meds. I couldn't take more. I having being on pain meds at the time had the pain. And it's like, okay, there's nothing to do about this. The different types of things made it worse, made it flare up. Does that make any sense? Who cares? That's my experience. That was a horrible. I'm so glad my shoulder's better. I almost guarantee it was like some kind of muscle issue or whatever else. Because I have a diet that's good and supports the everything. I didn't injure myself. It was some other thing that forces it to cramp up or whatever, or be sore. or something. It felt like COVID shot just in that one muscle group for like a week plus, multiple weeks, a whole month, I think. When I have a record of it. I made a pain journal. Anyway, think you can do these things. You just can't, Nemo. Yeah, I know the dots. If there is talk of clear memory of long-term mult multiple issues where it's like sometimes and there are things that can trigger it. Rage games, for example, and specifically something else obvious I won't mention. Your stuff. And, like, that you realize if you're going through issues or whatever else, you need to be apologetic, not say, "I'm insensitive right now," and whatever else. So don't expect anything from me. You gotta be like, "Yeah, if something happens, like, sorry, probably don't actually mean it. I would have really appreciated that, but you didn't say that. You're stuck in your heels. I waited months, any given week, no change. I don't know anything about all that crap, but I shouldn't have waited. I should have spoke up immediately. Whatever. I hope you didn't waste the cookies and you enjoyed them. There's these apricot heart cookies. They're great. Showed you where to find them. You're welcome.